So today we'll go through discussing pastime of Gajendra from Srimad Bhagavatam and some life lessons that we can learn from this pastime. So we have heard previously that the first class intelligent person should learn by hearing from scriptures. Second class intelligent person, he learns by seeing others go through a situation. A third class person, he himself has to go through a situation, personal experience, and learns. And Prabhupada says a fourth class person, he goes through multiple experiences but he still doesn't learn. So we should be the first class intelligent person learning lessons from this pastime of Gajendra, how he went through a crisis situation and that led his total transformation. And after we hear Shravanam should be preceded by Mananam. Mananam means we need to reflect on these lessons, the concepts we will talk about. We should meditate on them, contemplate on them. And after Shravanam comes Mananam, and then Sakshadkaram, Nididhyasan, deeply reflecting on them, and then Sakshadkara means applying those principles in our life. So this is the process of going from Gyan to Vigyan, getting knowledge, how knowledge becomes realization, and how realization that would lead to transformation in our life. So Bhagavatam says that in the 8th canto, that in one of the Swarga planets there was a very large mountain called Trikut mountain. It was 80,000 miles high and was surrounded by an ocean of milk and was very beautifully decorated with nice trees. There were parks and beaches and waterfalls, and the demigods from other Swarga planets would come and sport there and enjoy in those lakes. And there would be swans and peacocks and varieties of birds. So as you can imagine, this was a very beautiful and peaceful place, and that Srimad Bhagavatam is describing. So at this place there was one time a leader of the elephant called Gajendra. He was wandering with his wives, the other female elephants, and his children, and he was very powerful. And he was intoxicated with pride, and he was trying to show off his strength to his wives and children. So wherever he was walking, when he would come across some plants and trees, he would break the trees and crush the plants, not caring for them. And there were other animals who fled in fear just by getting the scent of this elephant Gajendra. So everybody was fearful of him. And Gajendra also had drunk a liquor, some type of a liquor, and when he walked, this whole mountain was trembling. So after some time, Gajendra felt thirsty. So with his family, he went to a lake, and in the lake he drank cold water and he was bathing in the lake. So Bhagavatam says like a human being who lacks spiritual knowledge and who's too much attached to his family members, Gajendra, he was raising water from the lake with his trunk, and he was spraying the water on his wives and children, and he was doing a lot of hard labor, and everybody was enjoying. So in this world also, we see that one who is attached to his family, he does a lot of hard work. Prabhupada says that he gets up early in the morning and he has to commute to work, taking a train or a bus for many hours, and then he toils hard at work, 10 to 12 hours. Again, he commutes back. All of this to give his family members a very lavish lifestyle, big home, car, vacation. He works hard for his family members. So we say that in this material world is characterized by Pavarga. Pa, Fa, Ba, Bha, Ma. Pa stands for Parishram, hard work, or Parabhav, defeat. Pa stands for failure. So when we do hard work, there is foaming at the mouth. And then Ba, Bandhan, all our activities leads to bondage. And because we are attached to so many things, Bha means fear. We are fearful of losing them. And then finally, Ma, Mrityu. So everybody has to work hard to survive in this material world. And most people think that, if I did everything for my family, make them happy, did all my family responsibilities, took care of all their material needs, then that's the success of my life. And now I can die peacefully. So most of the people think like that. But Bhagavatam says this verse, Dharma svanusita pumsa vishwaksena kathasuya notpade yadi ratim shrama ivahi kevalam. So this verse says that if you did your family duties, occupational duties very nicely, uh, but that didn't lead you to have an attraction for hearing about Krishna, so that was actually useless. It was a useless labor. Shrama evahi kevalam. So if you didn't make yourself into a devotee and your family members into a devotee, then all endeavors that you did were useless. So Prabhupada in his lecture, he would say that no matter how much you do for your family members, you will never be satisfied. And they will never be satisfied. And finally, they will say, what have you done for me? आपने मेरे लिए किया ही क्या है? So this is, the this is the result of, giving so much to your family members. They will never be satisfied. So if we really want to benefit our family, that everybody, everyone is happy and satisfied, and our family life is successful, then Prabhupada says that we should do these four things in our family life. He says in Bhagavad Gita that we should come together and chant Hare Krishna, we should read scriptures, we should worship deity, and we should offer food to the deity and eat prasadam. Keeping Krishna in the center, our family life will be successful. That will make a grahastha ashram. So this Gajendra, he was with his family members. He was playing in the lake, and that was disturbing the inhabitants of the water. So there was a crocodile living in that lake, and this crocodile became very angry, and he attacked Gajendra and caught hold of his leg. So Gajendra, he was enjoying having fun, but suddenly he's in a big trouble. So Bhagavatam says that in this material world, there is padam padam yad vipadam. There is danger at every step. Life is unpredictable. It is uncertain. What can happen next moment, we don't know. So no matter what material situation we are in, we can be a big CEO, president of the country, or rich, influential, but nobody is safe. So like we recently heard of this United Healthcare CEO who was casually going about somewhere and he got shot dead. Right? And we have heard in India, some time back, people were enjoying in Taj Mahal hotel in having vacation, but suddenly a terrorist attack happened there. Many got killed. People going out, traveling on a vacation to Kathmandu, suddenly, terrorists hijacked. The plane is hijacked. So most people, many people, they're just going about their usual business, get into accidents on the road. Suddenly we get some pain in the body, we check with the doctor and we get the diagnosis, you have cancer. So without prior notice, suddenly we get a shock of our life. So actually this is the reality of the material world, and Radhanath Maharaj was saying that we should not be shocked, because actually we should expect calamity at every moment. So if the calamity, we say padam padam yad vipam, there is danger at every step. So if we are, Krishna, if nothing is happening, if we are safe, this means Krishna is protecting us at every step. So we should be so grateful to Krishna that, today the day passed, we were safe, and it passed very smooth. So Krishna is giving me another day to practice my Krishna consciousness. So, but unfortunately, we are like Gajendra, because of our position, because of our abilities and our power. We become casual, we become complacent and full of pride. We get into an enjoying mentality. So we have this feeling of invulnerability, that I am secure, nothing can happen to me. But our position is like this man of like hanging from the branch of a tree. This man is in a very dangerous situation, but he's not realizing it, that the branch that he is hanging from, this branch is being eaten by these black and white rats, which indicate the day and night. So as the day and nights are passing, we're getting one day closer to death. One day this branch will break and will fall down, and there are snakes underneath, which indicates death. Before that also, before the branch falls down, this elephant who is trying to pull up at this tree, he can do that, and this represents like some major crisis in our life can happen, before we become old, and any other issue can happen that we can be killed. And this there are bees who are biting this person. Bees indicate the day to day struggles that we have, conflicts that we have with our family members, near and dear ones, and office, like that. So but this person, unconcerned about his dangerous position, he is sticking out his tongue to drink the few drops of honey that are falling from this beehive. He's trying to seek enjoyment in this difficult situation. So we are in the position of this man. We are not seeing all the dangers that we are surrounded by. So we can contemplate on this picture. So we realize the seriousness of our situation. Also, we have this example of this goat who is munching on green grass. It's very much enjoying eating green grass, but it's on assembly line. The goat in front of it is getting killed, but it's this goat is unconcerned what's going to happen to him. And Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj also gives the example of this, coming to this material world is like going to a vacation. We have come for enjoyment, but we have come to a place like Afghanistan or Ukraine. Anytime a bomb can fall on us, anytime anything can happen. And the happiness that we perceive in this material world is like actually a gap between two miseries. So Chaitanya Charitamrita gives this example of a prisoner who's being punished by putting his head under water. And when he's just about to lose his breath, his head is pulled out for a few moments, and he's able to breathe nicely. So when he's able to breathe, he feels happiness. Oh, wow, I'm able to breathe. But he doesn't know the next moment his head is again going to be put underwater. So the happiness that in this material world is actually a temporary absence of distress. So Gajendra, he was attacked by this crocodile, and his family members tried to help him. His wives were very sorry and they were crying. His family members, elephants, tried for a long time. They tried, but they couldn't help him. So after some time, they all left him alone. And Gajendra was fighting with the crocodile for 1,000 years. And over time, Gajendra became weak because Gajendra is an animal of land. And he couldn't get any food in the water where he was stuck in water. So his mental, physical, and sensual strength diminished. But crocodile is the animal of water. So he was getting enough food to eat. So his enthusiasm, physical strength, sensual power, it increased over time. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, we can learn from this. Prabhupada is saying, now from this we may take a lesson that in our fight with Maya, we should not be in a position in which our strength, enthusiasm, and senses will be unable to fight vigorously. Our Krishna consciousness movement has actually declared war against the illusory energy, in which all the living entities are rotting in a false understanding of civilization. The soldiers in this Krishna consciousness movement must possess physical strength, enthusiasm, and sensual power. To keep themselves fit, they must therefore place themselves in a normal condition of life. And what constitutes a normal condition will not be the same for everyone. And therefore, there are divisions of Varnashram: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. If he is very much agitated sexually, he should enter Grahasthashram. That one has been found to be very weak in one place does not mean that he should stop fighting the crocodile of Maya. So Prabhupada is saying that one should situate himself in a material situation, choose his occupational duty and his ashram, brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyas, based on his psychophysical nature, where he would be mentally and physically fit and is able to continue the process of Krishna consciousness with enthusiasm. So that is what is required to continue our devotional service. So we can choose to place ourselves in a comfortable situation. So then another thing, our shastras say that I've heard from a devotee, he was saying that actually, Sthan, according to, Gajendra was powerful on land but not in water. Related to that, shastras say that actually Sthanam Pradhanam, na Balam Pradhanam. It is not the place that makes one, it is the place that makes one powerful, not one's strength. Sthanam Pradhanam. It is a place. So, one story I heard in that regard is one time, Garuda was going to meet Lord Shiva in Kailash. And as he was leaving, the snake in the neck of Lord Shiva started hissing. So Garuda said to the snake that you are hissing not because you are powerful, but because the sthan, the place that you are in, is making you powerful. He was in the neck of Lord Shiva, that was making him powerful. So, like we say that team is stronger on the home pitch. So, so that's why Gajendra was stronger on land. Now, our position in the society is temporary. Today, we may be in a high position, that is, and we may be proud of it, and we may disrespect people. Tomorrow, situations can change, and then some other person can get into a higher position, right? So, how Gajendra was powerful on land but not in water, we may be powerful in one place, but we may not be powerful at every place. So, we should not be puffed up. We should understand that all the abilities that we have are coming from Krishna. They are borrowed plumes, Prabhupada says. So, like if a crow borrows feathers from the peacock and puts it on the head, the crow will not become a peacock. So, in the same way, we have borrowed abilities from Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Shabda khe parusham nirshu. Krishna is the ability in man. Balam balvatam chaham. Krishna is the strength of the strong. Buddhir buddhimatam asmi. I am the intelligence of the intelligent. Tejas tejasvi nam aham. I am the prowess of the powerful. So everything is coming from Krishna. So like how Arjuna, when he was coming back from Dwarka, taking the wives of Krishna, when Krishna had left to the spiritual world, he was bringing back his wives. So he was attacked by these cowherd men, and Arjuna got defeated. And Arjuna said, he was thinking that, oh, I have the same Gandiv bow, I have the same arrows, I have the same chariot, drawn by the same horses, and I am the same Arjuna whom all these kings offered their respects. But in the absence of Krishna, at a moment's notice, everything has become null and void. So Arjuna recognized that it was Krishna who was supplying him the power and abilities to fight in the war. So pride makes us forget Krishna, and Krishna, he wants us to become humble. So if we are not humble, we'll be humbled, and and that was he was showing in this Govardhan Leela also, as Indra became very proud, and Krishna crushed his pride by lifting Govardhan. So if we are not humble, then we will be humbled. Like Gajendra, he was totally humiliated in front of the people who honored him and worshipped him, and they thought that Gajendra was infallible. So in front of them, this Gajendra was in a very helpless. He was humiliated. He was in a very helpless condition. So when Gajendra got into such a situation, he thought for some time, and he got into this conclusion. Bhagavatam is saying the consciousness of Gajendra. So we'll read few verses here. When oh God. Okay, Prabhu, can you see? Okay, so Bhagavatam is saying about the consciousness of Gajendra. When the king of the elephant saw that he was under the clutches of the crocodile by the will of the providence, and being embodied and circumstantially helpless, could not save himself from danger, he was extremely afraid of being killed. He consequently thought for a long time and finally reached the following decision. The other elephants, who are my friends and relatives, could not rescue me from this danger. What then to speak of my wives? They cannot do anything. It is by the will of the Providence that I have been attacked by this crocodile, and therefore I shall seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always the shelter of everyone, even of great personalities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is certainly not known to everyone, but he is very powerful and influential. Therefore, although the serpent of eternal time, which is fearful in force, endlessly chases everyone, ready to swallow him, if one who fears the serpent seeks shelter of the Lord will give him protection. For even death runs away in fear of the Lord. I therefore surrender unto him, the great and powerful Supreme Authority, who is the actual shelter of everyone. So, material world puts us in a helpless situation. So, no matter how powerful you are, at some point we'll all be reduced to a state of helplessness where nobody and nothing can help us. So, I was reading this realization of a person called Krista Rodriguez. She was a very rich and very famous fashion designer, and she got diagnosed with cancer, and she got realizations towards the end of her life, that she shares. So she's saying that, I have the world's most expensive car brand in my garage, but now I am traveling in a wheelchair. My house is full of all kinds of designer clothing and shoes and valuables, but now my body is wrapped in a small sheet of cloth provided by the hospital. There is enough money in the bank, but now I'm not benefiting from that money. My house is like a palace, but I'm laying in a size bed in a hospital. I can go from five-star hotel to another five-star hotel, but now I'm spending time going from lab to lab in hospital. I signed hundreds of people, but doctor's note today is my signature. I had several jewelry to decorate my hair, but now I don't have hair on my head. With a private jet, I can fly wherever I want, but now I need two people's help to get to the hospital patio. Although there are many foods, but my diet has two tablets a day and a few drops of salt at night. This house, this car, this jet, this furniture, so many bank accounts, so much reputation and fame, none of them are useful. None of all valuables can give me relief. Nothing is real but death. Life is so short. See, she says. So she's saying nothing is real but death. So also in India, when somebody dies, what do they say? Ram Naam Satya hai, right? Only Ram Naam is truth. Rest everything is illusion. Abhrahmastam paryantam sarvamayamayam jagat satyam satyam punah satyam harer nameva kevalam. This song, it says that the entire universe, from exalted Brahma down to the lowly clump of grass, is but a product of illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. It's Maya. The only thing that is reality again I say reality is the holy name of Sri Hari alone, is everything. So this name, fame, position, status, wealth, all of this is illusion. It can leave us at any moment. But while we have it, it is very intoxicating. Like Kunti Maharani says this verse, Janm Aishwarya Shruti Shabir Edhaman Madapuman Nevarte Abadatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. So people who are very proud of their janam, their birth in an aristocratic family, their Aishwarya, their wealth, Shruta, their intelligence, Shri, their beauty, they cannot feelingly cry out to Krishna in a helpless mood. They cannot approach Krishna with sincere feelings because they are proud of their possessions. So one devotee was saying that when we realize that actually none of these things, not my, Prabhupada says, he gives a definition of humility. When we are convinced beyond any doubt that there is nothing in this world, not my money, not my family, not my fame, not this gun, not my education, nothing can save me in my time of need, in my time of danger. Nothing can help me, like this person was saying, that nothing is giving me relief. There and only Krishna's mercy can save me. Then we are actually humble. So when we realize that except for Krishna, I have no one, and in my time of need, only Krishna can help me, no one else, then when we have this realization, then we actually make advancement on the path of spirituality. We make advancement then, that only Krishna can help me in my time of difficulty. So Prahlad Maharaj also says, Balasya neho sharanam pitro narsingha, nartasya chagada mudanvati majtona, taptasya tat pratividirya ihanja sheshtas tavad vibho tanubritam tvadupekshitanam. So he's saying that unless Krishna sanctions somebody's protection, nobody can help him. And he gives three examples. He says that father and mother can be present, but they may not be able to save their child, who can die in front of them. Like we saw in the case of Chitraketu Maharaj, he was a very big king, influential, but his child died. And second example he gives is, the best of the doctors and the best of the medicines can be there, but the patient may not survive. And we have the example of Steve Jobs, how he was a billionaire and he hired the best of the doctors, and but still, because of cancer, he died. And the third example Prahlad Maharaj gives is, the boat on the water cannot protect a drowning man. We have the example of Titanic. Titanic, they said that the slogan was, this ship that never sinks, the ship that never sank. And in the first voyage itself, Titanic sank and so many people died. So we say, Harim Vina Nahi Vritam Taranti. No one can rescue anybody from danger except for Hari. So actually, any suffering that come to our life is because of our past karma, and nobody in this world can take anybody's karma. Like Steve Jobs said that you can hire somebody to drive a car for you or to make money for you, but you cannot hire somebody to bear sickness for you or die for you. So nobody can take anybody's karma, nor they can diminish anybody's karma, except for one person. Only Krishna can destroy our karma. So, but also I want to clarify that we don't say that, okay, if I am sick, that we are sick, then we will not go to the doctor, we will not take the medicine. We're not saying like that. We should take all practical measures to protect ourselves, to safeguard ourselves. But what surrender means is that you do what you can do, and then you take shelter of Krishna. They say, do as if everything depends on you, and pray as if everything depends on Krishna. Knowing that, okay, if I'm going to the doctor, the intelligence of the doctor will come from Krishna. If I'm taking the medicine, the power in the medicine is coming from Krishna. So Vrajvasi is he who always runs to Krishna for help. Any danger comes in Vrindavan, any demon would come, they would all run towards Krishna for help. Even Uttara, we see in her example, when Ashwathama threw the Brahmastra at Uttara's womb, Uttara could have gone to the Pandavas and any of the other kings, but she ran towards Krishna. Krishna, only you can save me. And same with Draupadi. Once she realized that nobody in this Kuru Sabha can save me, not my powerful husbands, not Bhishma Pitama, not Dronacharya, nobody can save me. So she surrendered to Krishna. Only Krishna can save me. So when a devotee, he makes a helpless cry to Krishna, then Krishna immediately comes. Because Krishna's heart is like millions of mothers combined. He never disowns us, no matter how much we have ignored him for many, many lifetimes. Like Prabhupada, gives this story of a king who had 4 wives. And this king, he had 4 wives, so he loved his 4th wife very, very much. He would give his wife a lot of nice things, nice clothes to wear, and nice things to eat, finest of the finest. And so then he also had his 3rd wife, and he would show off this 3rd wife to other people, other neighboring kingdoms. He would show off his wife. And he also had a 2nd wife, which he loved very much. This wife, she was very compassionate, and she would her for any difficult, whenever he would be in difficulty, he would go to her and she would guide him. And she was very patient and helped him in all her difficult situations. Also, this king had a first wife who was a very loyal partner, and she had made great contributions in maintaining his wealth and his kingdom. But this king, he didn't love his first wife. He neglected her, didn't even notice her. So one time, the king became very ill and he was about to die. And he thought that, oh, I'm going to die. I'll be all alone. I have four wives. Let me ask one of my wives to accompany me. So he asked his fourth wife. He said that I have loved you so much. I have given you the best of everything. Now I'm dying. Will you come along with me? Will you accompany me? So this wife said, no way. And she walked away. And this answer cut like a sharp knife in this king's heart. So this king asked his third wife, I have loved you all my life. Now I'm dying. Will you accompany me? Will you follow me? And she said, no, life is too good. When you die, I will remarry. This the third wife said. So then he went to his second wife and said that, no, I have always turned to you for help. You have always helped me in all my difficult situations. Now I am dying. Will you accompany me? And the second wife, she said that, oh, I am sorry. I cannot help you this time. At the very most I can do is I can accompany you till your grave. So this king was devastated. So then a voice called out from behind, I will live with you. I will follow you no matter where you go. So this king, he looked up and he saw that was his first wife, and she was very skinny and she suffered from malnutrition and neglect. So this king was very much repenting. He thought that, oh, you out of all the wives, you loved me the most. I should have taken better care of you when I had a chance. So this is a analogy, and so we all have four wives in our lives. So what is the fourth wife that this king loved the most and gave her the nicest of everything, clothes and nice things to eat? The fourth wife is our body. We spend a lot of time, making this body look good. A lot of time and effort is spent, but the body will leave us. We say Bhagavatam says the body is turned into ashes, tools, and worms. The body will leave us. And our third wife, who he would show off to others, and who said that, when you die, I will remarry. What is the third wife? Third wife is our possessions, our wealth. When we die, they will go to others. And the second wife, who he went to for, was very compassionate, who helped him go through difficulties, who guided him properly, is our family and friends. But at the most that they can do is they can accompany us to our grave. But our first wife is what? Paramatma, Krishna in our heart. No matter how much we have ignored him, neglected him, Paramatma will always stay with us and he will follow us wherever we go. In all the different situations in our life, in multiple lifetimes, different species that we have been in, as you can see, very hard times that we have had, Krishna has always been with us. He has never left us alone. So in this world, if we neglect somebody, if we offend somebody, ultimately they would say, I'm done with you. I want to break my relationship with you. They will say that. But Krishna, he is ever waiting, ever willing, and ever working. Ever waiting means Krishna is patiently waiting for us to turn towards him, waiting for us to renew our relationship with him. And he's ever willing. He accepts us. The moment we turn towards him, Krishna, I am yours, please accept me. Krishna तुम्हारा है यदि बोले एक बार माया बंध हटे कृष्ण तारे करे पार. We say that, Krishna, I am your sincere and serious servant. For many, many lifetimes I have forgotten you, but today I am surrendering to you. I am yours. Please accept me. Krishna will immediately accept me. And ever working, Krishna as a Chaitya Guru in the heart, he is guiding us, and he sends devotees in our life. He sends scriptures in our life, and he arranges for a situation in our life that we will become helpless. And that is done not to punish us, but ultimately because he loves us. So we turn towards him in that helpless situation. Like how Gajendra turned towards Krishna. So, like Amog Leela Prabhu was saying that, in Indian movies, we see that when a girl is not attracted to the boy and she's not paying any attention to him, the boy, what he does is he hires some gundas, and he tells them that, you go disturb the girl, and I will be nearby, and the girl will see me and call for my help. I will come and I will fight with you, and you get defeated, and I'll become a hero in the eyes of the girl. So this is what Krishna does. He sends distress in our life, which are like those gundas, and we become in a helpless situation. We call out to Krishna for help, and he comes and he helps us. And then we become so grateful to Krishna that we give our heart to him, and we become attracted to him. So this is all a plan of Krishna to get our heart, so that we start loving him. So Gajendra realized that, only Krishna can help me in this situation, so he surrendered. So also, Bhagavatam says that Gajendra, for a long time, he was thinking that this crocodile is a source of my problem. It's a cause of my problem. So he was trying to combat this crocodile with his own strength, and also his family members were trying. But then, when nothing worked, Gajendra's consciousness changed. Gajendra understood that this crocodile is actually the instrument of my own karma, that I am responsible for this situation that I'm in. And by the will of the Lord, this is happening. So at this point, when he started, he thought that he himself is the reason for this problem. At this point, he got remembrance of Krishna. So devotees, they don't blame anybody for their suffering. Like in Canto 1, we see that Parikshit Maharaj, he sees that Kali is beating Dharma bull, and his 3 legs are cut. So he asks the Dharma bull, what is the cause of your suffering? And the bull says, actually, nobody can ascertain the cause of my suffering. Ambrish Maharaj, he never blamed Durvasa Muni when Durvasa Muni sent a demon to kill him. And Parikshit Maharaj, when he was cursed by Shringi, he accepted that curse. He never blamed Shringi. And Prahlad Maharaj, he never blamed Hiranyakashipu, who was trying to kill him in many different ways. In Canto 11, Avanti Brahmana actually is saying that all these people are not the cause of my suffering. These demigods, my own body, my own karma is not the cause of my suffering. It's my mind alone which is the cause of my suffering. So the devotees, they don't blame anybody for their suffering. So Prabhupada quotes this verse often, Tatte anukampam susimikshamano bhunjana vatma kritam vipakam ridvag vipurbhi vidadan namaste jiveta yo mukti pade sadaya bhag. So this verse is saying that when somebody is in a difficult situation, the devotee understands that this is because of my previous karma that I'm in this situation. But Krishna is very merciful that he has minimized my suffering. So, being grateful to Krishna, the devotee offers his Rid Vagvapu, his heart, his words, and his body in service to Krishna, offering obeisances to Krishna. And in that way, he becomes a Dayabhak. He becomes a rightful claim. He gets rightful heir of Krishna's property. He gets the qualification to enter into spiritual world. Is when even in difficult situation, he remains grateful to Krishna. So also, Radhanath Maharaj was saying that, initially Gajendra was thinking that this crocodile will go away sometime. After some time it will go away, he was thinking. But despite his hopes and despite his efforts, this crocodile would just not let go of him. So Radhanath Maharaj was saying that in our life also we might have hard days, but we have faith that better days are coming. We may be in some problem, but we think that, this problem will go away sometime. So the Maya's way of dealing with us in this world is to keep us in this illusion that things will get better. That whatever crocodile is biting us right now, it will get tired after some time and it will go away. So we think like that. But that's false hopes of Maya. And because of these false hopes, we do not surrender to Krishna. So Prabhupada says actually we should have a very pessimistic view of material life, considering unless we have a pessimistic view of material life, considering the distresses of birth, death, old age, and disease, there is no impetus for our making advancement in spiritual life. And he also says that the first qualification to go to the spiritual world is to remember that this material world is a place of misery. But if we think that, oh, this material world is a very nice place, then we have to remain here. So devotee is pessimistic about the material world. This is what is coming: birth, death, old age, and disease. These are the problems that are coming. But the devotee is very hopeful in Krishna's mercy, optimistic about Krishna's mercy. He's Asha Bandha, he's hopeful, but he's pessimistic about the material world. Then surrender can happen. Also, now Gajendra, when he was taking shelter of Krishna, with the verses that we read, he is taking shelter of Krishna. Gajendra, he remembered a mantra that he had chanted in his previous life as King Indradumna. So the past life of Gajendra is mentioned in this section. It's mentioned how King Indradumna, he was the king of the Tamil country, and he had retired from family life. So he was in the renounced order, and he had gone to the forest, and he was doing tapasya there. He was in samadhi, and Agastya Muni had come with his disciples. But because the king was meditating, he was in samadhi, he could not receive Agastya Muni properly. So this rishi became very angry, and he cursed the King Indradumna to become an elephant. So he said that you behaving like a dull elephant, you become an elephant. But the king, he was advanced. So he accepted the curse of Agastya Muni as a blessing. And this curse actually turned out to be a blessing, because in one lifetime, and King Indradumna becomes this elephant Gajendra, and then he surrenders to Krishna and goes back home, back to Godhead. So devotees, they're not this something happens in their life, they have faith that Krishna has promised me that, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kauntya pratijane nama bhakta pranashati, that declare it boldly, my devotee will never perish. So devotees have faith in Krishna's promises. So they're never dejected by some difficulty that happens in their lives, just like how this curse happened. So we also see that, devotees may go through many difficulties in their life, material difficulties. They can be attacked, like what is happening in Bangladesh. They can be diagnosed with a disease, or they can be killed in accidents. So these material situations can happen for a devotee, but Krishna promises that I will protect the devotee in terms that I will protect their consciousness. That whatever bhakti they have done will never be lost. Purva bhyasena teneva reyatehe vashopisa. Bhagavad Gita says that by virtue of his divine consciousness in his previous life, in his next life he will automatically become attracted to yogic principles. Neha birkamanashasti pratyavayanam vidyate swalpam apesya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Krishna also says that in this path of Krishna consciousness there is no loss or diminution, and little advancement we make on this path can save us from the greatest danger. So although remembrance, so for Gajendra, what happened was he got this curse to become an elephant, and for some time he didn't remember Krishna. The remembrance of Krishna was lost. So remembrance of Krishna may be lost for some time, but the bhakti account is there. It's like, somebody has forgotten the password to the bank account. So the bhakti account is there, but the password is forgotten. So he cannot benefit from the bhakti account. But when he gets a shock treatment, so like somebody who gets short-term memory loss, amnesia, one of the treatments for amnesia is that they are given shock treatments. Right? So the threefold miseries of this material world, Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, Adi Atmik Kleshas, misery, also fourfold miseries, birth, death, old age, and disease, these are like shock treatments that help us revive our memory back. So like we hear, in Canto 3, the child in the womb, it's suffering so much in the womb of the mother. It's in a small place, and it's bitten by worms. And so, in this very difficult situation, this child remembers his past 100 births and he remembers Krishna. He takes shelter of Krishna. So, but then what happens is when this child comes out of the womb, it forgets everything. It forgets all the promises that he makes to Krishna in the womb that, I will not get into another mother's womb. It forgets all the distress that it had because it's covered over by Maya. The parents' love makes him forget all the distresses of the birth. So he's again covered by Maya, so he forgets all the lessons. So we keep forgetting all the realizations that we had in our difficult situations. We took shelter of Krishna. We keep forgetting our realizations. So again and again, Krishna has to give us shock treatments to revive our memory. So Gajendra, he remembered the mantra that he was chanting in his previous life. Krishna says, Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sanivishto. Krishna, as a super soul in everybody's heart, he gives them knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So Krishna invoked the remembrance in the heart of Gajendra. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, now Gajendra was in danger, and although he was in a body other than that of a human being, he remembered the stotra that he was chanting in his previous life. To enable one to achieve perfection, Krishna gives one the chance to remember him again. It is imperative, therefore, that all the devotees in Krishna consciousness practice chanting some mantra. Certainly, one should chant the Hare Krishna mantra, which is the Maha Mantra or great mantra, and also one should practice chanting Chintamani Prakara Sadmashu or Narshinga Stotra, Ito Narshinga, Parato Narshinga, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narshinga. Every devotee should practice in order to chant some mantra perfectly, so that even though he may be imperfect in spiritual consciousness in this life, in his next life he will not forget Krishna consciousness, even if he becomes an animal. Of course, a devotee should try to perfect his Krishna consciousness in this life, for simply by understanding Krishna and his instructions, after giving up this body, one can return home back to Godhead. Even if there is some fall down, practice of Krishna consciousness will not go in vain. And he gives example of a Jamil, how in his boyhood he was chanting the name of Narayan under the direction of his father, but later on in his youth he fell down, he became a drunkard, a woman hunter, a rogue and a thief. Nonetheless, because of chanting the name of Narayan for the purpose of calling his son, he became advanced, even though he was involved in sinful activities. So, Prabhupada is saying, therefore, we should not forget to chant Hare Krishna mantra under any circumstances. It will help us in the greatest danger, as we find the life of Gajendra. So, Prabhupada also says that simply our prayer should be that, oh Krishna, please remind me to chant Hare Krishna. Please don't put me into forgetfulness. Even if you put me into hell, it does not matter as long as I'm chanting your name, Hare Krishna Mantra. So that should be our prayer. That let me never forget chanting your name, Krishna. So some one devotee I heard, he got dementia, and he forgot everything about his own life moments, about his family. He forgot everything, but the only thing that he remembered was chanting the holy name. So we should practice chanting the holy name, and should not be lip deep, but should be heart deep every day with strict discipline, that this mantra will be embedded in our heart, that we will never forget him, no matter where we go in our next life. And, Gajendra was saying that, I take shelter of Krishna because even death runs away in fear of the Lord. So we say that holy name is feared by fear personified. Yamadutas run away from somebody who is chanting the holy name. One time Prabhupada was asked, what do you feel when you chant? And he says, I feel no fear. So we will become fearless as we chant the holy name. So Gajendra recited many prayers, and they are called Gajendra Moksha. So we don't have time to cover all the prayers, but we will cover one prayer that he chanted. Madrik prapanna pashupash vimokshanaaya मुक्ताय भूरि करुणाय नमो ललाय स्वांशीन सर्वतनु बृन्मनसि प्रतीता प्रत्यग्दृशे Gajendra prate namaste. So Gajendra is saying, since an animal such as me has surrendered unto you, who are supremely liberated, certainly you will release me from this dangerous position. Indeed, being extremely merciful, you incessantly try to deliver me. By your partial features as Paramatma, you are situated in the hearts of all embodied beings. You are celebrated as the direct transcendental knowledge, and you are unlimited. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Gajendra, in this verse, he is addressing the Lord in three ways. He's saying, Krishna, you are Muktaya, Bhuri Karunaya, and you are Alalaya. Muktaya means, Krishna, you are liberated. You are above the modes of material nature. And because you are liberated, that's why you can give me liberation. One who is liberated only can liberate others. Mukti Pradata Sarvesham Vishnu Revana Samshaya. Only Vishnu can give us mukti. And then he says, Bhuri Karunaya. You are very merciful. So, Aho Bhakyam Stanakal Kutam Jagamasya Payadape Sadhu. Who can be more merciful than Krishna, who gave the position of a mother to the she demon Putana who came to kill him? We say. Or we have the pastime of, Vasudev leper in Chaitanya Charitamrita, how, Vasudev, he had leprosy and he had pus and worms all over his body, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him. And this Vasudev leper, he was saying that, oh, my most merciful Lord, such mercy is not possible for ordinary living entities. Such mercy can be found only in you. Upon seeing me, even a sinful person would run away, due to my bad bodily odor. But you have touched me. No, everybody had left Vasudev leper. His family had rejected him. The whole village had rejected him. Everybody would run away from him. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him. So he's saying, who can be more merciful than you? Also, Sanatana Goswami also had a skin disease, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always embracing him, and he was running away. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him that, why are you running away? For a mother, touching the stool and urine of the child is not disgusting, right? It is like sandalwood pulp to the mother. So Krishna's heart is like a mother, and him embracing Vasudev leper and Sanatana Goswami is like, it's not disgusting at all. Mother feels very good, cleaning the child. And yeah, so the stool and urine of the child seems like sandalwood pulp to the mother. So Krishna is very compassionate. So many people can be compassionate towards us, our family members. Some people may have compassion for us, but they may not have the capability to help us, right? As we discussed, family members, they may also be helpless in helping us. They may not be able to help us. But some people, they may have the capability to help us, but they may not have the compassion to help us. Like, when this Gajendra was attacked by crocodile, there were many demigods who were watching this, but nobody came to help him. These demigods didn't come. So they may not have the compassion to help us. And the third category of people, Gajendra is saying Krishna is Alahalaya. Sometimes, people may have compassion to help us, but until we tell them what is our problem, they may not be able to help us because they don't know what we are going through. So Krishna, this Gajendra tells Krishna, you are Alalaya, means you are completely aware of everything that I'm going through. You are attentive of everything that is happening to me because you are Paramatma in my heart. So we say what a black ant on a black night on a black mountain needs, Krishna knows. So for every jiva, their moods, deeds, and needs, Krishna understands. So he is Alalaya. So with all Gajendra is saying that these are all the qualities in you, O Krishna. So you come and please save me in this situation. And Krishna, when he hears the helpless cry of the devotee, he immediately comes, and we hear that Vishnu, he's running so fast, faster than his carrier Garuda, and his upper cloth is falling apart, his crown is falling apart. He didn't even wear slippers, and he doesn't sit on Garuda without Achman. So Garuda said, "Oh, my lord, no Achman." Vishnu said, "No, get going. It's emergency situation. My devotee is in trouble." So Vishnu came immediately, and he, with his Sudarshan Chakra, he cut off the head of the crocodile. And before, as Gajendra, he sees Vishnu coming, Gajendra, he lifts a lotus flower from the lake that he was in, and he offers it to the Lord. Oh my Lord, I offer my obeisances to you. He makes a prayer, offering this lotus flower. So this also shows us that, we can be in any circumstance, but there's always uh, there's always we have the chance to serve Krishna in any situation. No matter in whatever situation we are, we can serve Krishna. And Krishna is easily pleased, as he says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. You offer me little leaf, flower, fruit, or water, I will be satisfied. And we have so many examples of Kubja offering Chandan, Shabri offering the wild fruits, fruit vendor lady offering fruits, and Draupadi. At one time, Krishna approached Draupadi and as a guest, and Draupadi was cutting fruits for Krishna, and Krishna said, "Let me cut the fruits." And Draupadi was busy doing something else, so Krishna actually cut his finger, and immediately Draupadi tore off her, expensive silk sari and covered the wound of Krishna. So Krishna felt so indebted. So later, when Draupadi cried out to Krishna in the Kuru Sabha, Krishna provided endless sari for one, act of service that Draupadi did uh, to Krishna. Krishna was very indebted. He provided endless sari to Krishna. So Krishna is very grateful for even little service we do for him. Krishna never forgets. Like we say that the nature of man is we get, and forget. The nature of God is give, and forgive. We forget all that others have done for us, but Krishna never forgets. Any service that we have done for us, Krishna never forgets. And Prahlad Maharaj, in his prayers, he's quoting Gajendra. He's saying, Manye dhana bijana rupa tapashruta ojas teja prabhav bala paurusha buddhi yoga naradhanaya hi bhavanti parasya pumso bhaktya tutosho bhagavan gajayudhapaya. So in this verse, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that you may have dhan, abhijan, rupa, tapa, shruta, wealth, aristocratic family, you may have beauty, austerity, education, all this, but all of these are not qualifications by which you can satisfy Krishna. But you can satisfy Krishna like how Gajendra did, by offering a lotus flower with his devotion. You can easily satisfy Krishna. Because all of the other things like wealth, intelligence, memory, physical strength, all of this is actually coming from Krishna only. So so but what Krishna does not have is our heart. He does not have our love. So when we offer something to Krishna with love, then he is easily pleased. So Gajendra, Krishna cut the head of the crocodile with his chakra and pulled Gajendra out. Radhanath Maharaj was saying in his lecture that when Gajendra was rescued by Krishna, Gajendra didn't think, oh, what a relief, now I'm out of this problem, now let me go back to my family and take care of them. So if Gajendra would have thought that, then Krishna would have left him there only. But Gajendra, he didn't want to do anything except serve Krishna. He was so grateful to Krishna, and he had lost all hopes in Maya's false promises within this world. So Krishna, he put Gajendra on an airplane and he sent him to Vaikuntha. So Gajendra got Sarupya Mukti. And also this crocodile also has a story. In his previous life, he was King Huhu, and he was with a lot of women enjoying in the waters. And there was a rishi, Deval Rishi, who was bathing in the lake, and just for fun, this King Huhu went underwater and he started pulling on his leg, and this rishi became very angry and he cursed him to become a crocodile. But then he begged for forgiveness, and he said that this rishi said that okay, when Krishna delivers Gajendra, he will also be merciful to you. So when who in this crocodile was his head was cut, he got back his Gandharva body, and he circumambulated Krishna, Lord Vishnu, and he offered him obeisances, and he became also pure. He became freed from all sinful reactions. So this is what Krishna does. His activities are called Adbhuta Karmana. He performs wonderful activities that he always bestows auspiciousness to everybody. Even one who Krishna kills, that becomes auspicious for that person. So last thing is, what does this crocodile represent? For us, what does this crocodile represent? So crocodile represents multiple things we have already talked about. It represents Maya. It can also represent some disaster and some calamities. Also, crocodile represents time. time is like that crocodile which is slowly consuming us. So day by day, um, we don't see major change happening in our life, but over the time we can see the deteriorating effect of the time. So this crocodile of time, he eats us very slowly. It chews on it little by little. It's prey. It's chewing on it little by little. So this, as the time is going on, we are seeing the deteriorating effect of time. Time and tide wait for no man. So if we are 50 years old, this means that crocodile has already eaten us 50%. 50% of we are being eaten. We have already been eaten by crocodile. So as we are getting older, one devotee was saying that our hair is turning gray. We are trying not to be seen as old. Like we dye our hair, we wear hearing aid, or we do hair treatment, or we apply creams to hide our wrinkles. So we are trying not to look old, right? So like how Gajendra was struggling with the crocodile, we are struggling with time. Let me not die, let me not become old. But eventually this crocodile will catch on to us. So Bhagavatam says that knowing that our duration of life is being cut down by the passing of days and night, we are getting one day closer to our death. We should give up all our attachments and all our desires, and we should surrender to Krishna as Gajendra did. So let me read just one purport that Prabhupada says on this aspect. He is saying that we are always in danger because at any moment death can take place. It is not that only Gajendra was afraid of death, everybody should be fearful of death, because everybody is caught by the crocodile of eternal time and may die at any moment. The best course, therefore, is to seek shelter of Krishna and be saved from the struggle of existence in this material world in which one repeatedly takes birth and dies. To reach this understanding is the ultimate goal of life. So we should become serious. Um, we should understand that we are in a helpless situation. We are already in the mouth of the crocodile. We don't see that crocodile, but it is there. We are in the mouth of the crocodile. So we should be crying for help from Krishna, like how Gajendra was crying. Krishna, only you can save me. I am yours. Please accept me. And that's how we should be chanting the Hare Krishna mantra in that mode, how Gajendra was crying out to Krishna. So I will stop here. Thank you everybody for hearing. And if you have any comments how I can improve my presentation, you can please help me.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.